Hi, I'm Fran, and I used to be a makeup artist and a freelance makeup artist, and I want to share with you some tips and tricks to get you towards the transition, especially now that we're going from winter to like a more warmer season, at least here in Europe, in Italy. We're kind of getting those vibes of a warmer climate, and then, we change, there's always some actions to do. And first of all, please be sure to wash your brushes. So my favorite brushes are the Real Techniques. I mean, Nick and Sam, they are my gurus. They were like the YouTube stars of makeup back when I started to follow them, and I always loved the way they show tutorials, the way they interact, they engaged, and I mean, 2010 was wow. 2009, 2010, I think it was the golden era of YouTube when it comes to makeup, and it was fun. So again, these are my favorite brushes, but again, the main point is wash them at least once a week, the ones you use the most. Even if it's just like one brush that you use for powders and you can just quickly go like that and then you don't have powders left, still bacteria, still, particles, dust, whatever, cat's hair, whatever, they will get stuck. You can bring with you when you go for a shower. Just make sure that you lay flat upside down so the water don't enter the part where the glue sits and you don't get fallout from your brushes, from the bristle. And of course, if you have other brushes that you haven't been using for months, maybe they are stored somewhere in your house, wash them too, especially because maybe they've been like sitting somewhere for the entire winter period, and they will still gather dust. Give it a quick rinse. You don't need the soap and water, and again, no fancy products, just the dish soap will do. This is what I used to wash up my brushes when I used to work in counters in London for makeup, and they will be just fine. Of course, not to warm the water, just warm temperature, nice rinse, nice lathering of the soap, and they will be just fine. But brushes are important tools, and you want to take care of them. Another thing that is very, very important, especially now that we're transitioning from winter time to more like spring, summertime, it's expiration date of your makeup products. Please take one afternoon, one evening, whatever, you just gather all the makeup that you have, and please check the informations on the back. Usually are on the back of the products, on the back of the box, that the product that you used, if you even remove the box. And sometimes it says 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 32 months. Usually you gather information like if a product is vegan, if a product is with recycled plastic, and all the information. Sometimes in here you should find also the one that says the expiration date, or PAO or PAO. That it's a very important information. So once you buy the product and it's sealed, it's closed, of course, you open it up in your home or whatever you are, and that ideally it's the beginning of that period that you read here. For example, this is should be 6 months. Please consider this is amazing. Catrice Under Eye Instant Awake, and this is the color O2. It's my favorite product. And this is, for example, I've got this, I opened it, this, and this is more than 6 months, but I always stored it in a safe environment. I never bring this in my bag, so the product didn't change temperature. And especially when you have a makeup kit and maybe you work as a freelance makeup artist, please, you have to make sure that your products, that your makeup, it's not getting into such a harsh change of temperature or environment, causing the product to melt and then maybe to kind of going back to its shape. Maybe if it happens once, okay, but this involves all the liquid and cream products. Of course, powders are less prone to decay, but still at some point you will have to throw the powders, especially when they are losing their performance time, or you got like itchiness and there is a massive amount of fallout. It's like the powder just, it's kind of destroying itself. Okay, it's like a supernova. Again, so it's very, very important that you check your expiration date, because that's the guideline for the quality and performance of your product. That doesn't mean that after 6 months you have to throw it in the bin, but again, you have to be mindful on how you use the products and the way you store them. So if you always put a very dirty brush inside, then maybe the product will be still good to use, but you have to make sure at least you put a little drop of rubbing alcohol or whatever sometimes, just to make sure that you're not gathering so much dirt inside that will cause maybe some allergic reactions. And then again, you have to make sure, if you bring some products in your bag every day, and maybe sometimes your car it's very hot, your car it's very cold, or you've noticed that some of the liquid or cream products, they change consistency, they change the smell, the color, it's like not the same when you were used to be. It oxidized a lot when you place it on your skin. Just notice all these things, and this is not a matter of how much a product cost, how much you paid for something. Okay, you have the same issues if you got a cream blush from, I don't know, Tarte, and you got a cream blush from Poundland. I mean, it's the way you store and you take care of things that makes the difference. And then of course a high quality product will perform better, but the expiration date, like as humans, it's the same thing for everyone. All the products have one. You get all the information here. And this is important because sometimes we can get allergic reactions or skin rashes or, eyes watering, because we are using some products that maybe you were used in the winter time, and then we carry on using them on the warmer climate, and then the shock of the change of temperature, maybe you didn't clean them properly, you didn't store them properly, and then you wonder why something that you used to go amazingly well with stops working, and then you get just problems. Or again, maybe the manufacturer changed the list of ingredients, and you want to check that as well, because it's getting more expensive to create makeup, and sometimes companies, they will have to do some minor changes to their ingredients list, and you will notice that change. And so again, maybe if you buy the same products for years, we want to check if actually they are keeping it the same, and that also affects the quality and performance of the products that you're going to use. Another thing, again, this is the transition time, towards March, April, where our eyes get more sensitive, our skin gets more sensitive, again, because we are getting more allergic reaction. We've got skin rashes that happens more often. We are more prone to inflammation. And then again, you want to make sure that the products that you use, maybe some products that you use in winter are no longer, the best product to use for warmer season, for the spring and summer, because maybe they are too heavy. They will tend to oxidize more because of the change of warmth of your skin. You want to be very mindful of those things, because they will change your performance, overall impact of the makeup, and then you will end up feeling like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with my makeup? I hate everyone. I'm your makeup artist bestie, and I will love you to be always very, satisfied with whatever you've bought and you use. I'm going to show you maybe some tips and tricks, but there are so many tutorials online. But one thing that I've noticed that it's missing, it's makeup used to be fun. and at some point we lost it. At some point we are too focusing on performance, and it's not fun anymore. And when I started to do makeup, it was about fun. It was also about, learning and studying. Now it's more like a walking ADV for everything. So maybe I won't post a lot, but I really want to, be someone for you that maybe is going to give you some information that are often not shared, because there is something, more important to share nowadays. I don't know if that makes sense. And yeah, so to gather these things up, please wash your brushes, especially now, because you've been using winter products. You might end up using more spring and summer makeup products that are more attuned with whatever you're going to, experience in terms of temperatures and in terms of whatever you've been doing in your life. And expiration date for your products. They are a guideline. It's not that after 6 months you open something, you have to throw it in the bin. But please, one thing that I forgot to mention, but it's important, the product that you need to change most often, it's the mascara. Mascara, it's something that you cannot clean, you cannot wash, you cannot put alcohol inside to kind of try and sanitize it. So unless you use a solid mascara, whatever mascara you have, that it will be needed to be replaced. That it's important because I suffer a lot from inflammation in my eye, and I am very mindful when I put mascara on. It needs to be not the most expensive, but the better quality I can get. So I get it from the pharmacy, and it works okay. I don't get reactions. But the thing is, depending on how much I use the mascara, at some point I will have to throw it away, even if it's still like there is a lot of product in it, just because I know that for applying once, twice, it accumulates dirt and maybe dead cells. Mascara, it's the least hygienic product, unfortunately, because you will have to, put it in the bin at some point, maybe after 2-3 months, depending how much you use it. Because if you use the same mascara every day, I think change it once every 3 months, it's a good timing, especially because you're probably gonna be running out of mascara by the time. But if you use once in a while, then the formula might change, maybe it gets dry. I would do this for another video, but I think you have to be very mindful on how to store your makeup, on how you take care of the things you have to do your makeup on a daily basis, and make sure that if you have a product that you're not sure when you first got it and it smells funky and the texture it's not good, when you put it on it oxidizes, when you use it it's not lasting anymore, you just don't feel comfortable, maybe you get itchy, maybe you get a little bit of reaction, just put it in the bin if you can. I know maybe sometimes things get expensive, but you can replace that product with something new. But again, please make sure it's not how much you have, but how you take care of things. I hope this video is gonna, be a mindful one for you. Please let me know in the comments. I will do more like chatty tips and tricks videos like that. Again, I'm Fran, and thank you so much.